Hi there. Thanks to some unexpected large bills, I've had to raid my Betfair account to pay for them. So you can see here I've got £167 left in my Betfair account. So rather than waiting till payday to top that up, what I thought I'd do would take this opportunity to run a little experiment throughout the month of May to build that back up again. And what I'm going to do is use a compound profit technique, the same technique that I use, or a very similar technique that I used when I first started in Betfair trading greyhound races. I would simply take whatever profit I made from one trade, reinvest that, and increase the stake in the next race, and so on throughout the day. And that way I was able to increase my stake fairly quickly, as well as my overall bank. So that's what I'm going to do here. Now, the compounding technique is probably familiar to most of you, I would think, if not as traders, perhaps in the financial world. So this video may be more useful to the beginners amongst you, but hopefully you'll all find something from it. So let me just pull up a spreadsheet I've created earlier on today, which illustrates exactly what I'm going to try and do. You can see here I've set up various columns with various target profit percentages. So clearly the greater the target profit percentage, the quicker you can accumulate and increase your staking. But also, of course, you run a bigger risk of hitting a loser with your target profit not being met for any one particular event. Similarly, though, down the bottom end, when you've got a small target profit of 2.5%, now in financial terms, that might be okay for a long-term investment. But you can see here, to double your initial stake of £10, you're going to take 29 bets to hit the 20 mark. In other words, double your stake. Keep in mind that these figures here all include the initial stake. So the lower your target profit, the longer it will take to double your money, as you can imagine. Now, these ever-increasing dark squares simply flag up particular trigger points or targets, if you like. So you've got a doubling, tripling, quadrupling, and so on. And you'll all see that they all follow an exponential curve. As you increase the target profit, the less number of bets it's going to take to hit that profit target. So that's essentially what I'm going to do. Now, you've all seen lots of videos where I have had a target, green up target of 25% of my staking. So you've seen videos, you've seen screenshots using all sorts of different selection methods and so on, all hitting 25% profit target and frequently having decent runs. Yes, of course, there's the odd loser in there, but you frequently see runs of 4, 5, 6 successful trades. I'm going to be a little bit conservative in this project throughout the month of May. I'm not going to look for 25%. If you were to look back on those videos, you'll see quite a few where there's been losers and the trigger point has just been missed, in that the potential green up point never quite got to the 25%. So I'm actually going to roll this back a bit and probably go with either 12.5 or 15% as my target trigger point, which means that in the case of 12.5%, I'll be looking at 6 successful bets in a row in order to hit the £20 profit point, assuming a 10% stake. Now, a couple of things with that. As you've seen again in lots of videos, I use an automated green up, and Fairbot that puts in the corresponding green out position based on the target profit being reached as the race runs in play. And quite often, because of that target green up position being triggered, by the time Fairbot submits the bets into the market, the odds have moved on a little bit, and so you quite often see that you get a better return than the actual target percentage. Quite often you get a lot better than that. So what I'm actually going to do is if that happens, I'm not going to reinvest that full profit. I'm simply going to carry on following these numbers as my staking. And the reason for that is if I get anything extra over and above whatever my target profit is for each individual race, that will essentially help to reduce my initial outlay, i.e. this first bet. So even if I hit a loser, the chances are for that day, I won't have lost £10 in this particular example. I may have lost just £8, if you like. So that's part of the plan. There's actually two ways of doing this. You can follow these numbers here, putting in your bets, and once you hit your doubling, just stop. Or if you hit a loser, just stop. That's certainly the plan. If you hit a loser, you stop. That's you finished for the day, knowing that you've only lost whatever your potential initial stake was. The other way that you can do it, which can be useful, and I've done in the past, is you don't stop when you've reached a doubling of your stake or a tripling of your stake or whatever. What you do is when you reach a doubling, you take out your initial stake. So that's now protected. You're now playing with free money, and you effectively start again, and you just keep on going. And periodically, for example, you may come down here and hit this point and then I'll take my stake out again. And you can keep doing that. And if you hit, the reason for doing that is if you hit a nice long run, you can end up with some very tidy profit on the day. You know, we think about that if you want to follow this along. I'm probably just going to be bailing out once I hit my doubling target. The other thing I'm going to do, if I switch back to Fairbot, I'm actually going to do 10% of what my balance is on the day. So each day I'll look at my balance and my initial stake will be based on a 10% of that balance, and that will be my stake for the rest of the day. That way I will be effectively reinvesting the profit I've made from the previous day back into my staking. So I'm essentially going to use 10% of whatever my balance is, and the reason for that is throughout the month of May, I'm unlikely to actually trade more than 16, 17 days anyway. So in the worst case scenario, I could completely wipe this £167 off out of my account. I don't think that will happen, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm not going to record every single race that I'm doing, even if I do some tennis or whatever. I'm not going to record all that, but I'll just give you updates as and when. It's going to be a little bit haphazard because I'll be able to do some today, but I might not be able to do anything till towards the end of the week due to other commitments. But we'll see how it goes. And if anyone's any interest, I will make that spreadsheet available to you so you can download it if you want to have a look at that. And watch this space. Hopefully by the end of the month, my bank account will be a little bit healthier than it is at the moment. Okay, thanks for watching.